And we're back again after a very long time.
It's been a minute, man. And YouTube time, it's probably been like 100 years.
Oh God, I'm surprised they haven't kicked us off YouTube.
Dude, YouTube's been cracking down too, man. Like they're really making people like push it. They want people to make videos every day, and if you
Mm.
don't, then like it's almost like you get wiped off the map as if you never existed.
I saw a stat that said I think since like December, um, YouTube took down like 8 million videos, something like that.
Dude, I mean, I guess maybe you can call it like spring cleaning, but they're definitely cleaning up.
Yeah,
Maybe that's a good thing. I mean, I don't know. They're obviously they can do whatever they want. They're YouTube.
for sure. So,
But hey, that's right. We're
welcome.
not doing this. We're not doing this for the monetization because you basically have to have to like 1 million subscribers now.
Yeah, we're just doing it for the fame and the fortune.
Doing it for the fame and the fortune, which has nothing to do with monetization. Boom.
So, welcome. This is the Bad Movie Review, a movie podcast where we watch a movie and we talk about it. I'm your host, Vishen,
And I'm your host, John. What up?
and should we get right into it?
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, it's been a minute though, man. I think that the people should know why we were out for so long, man. You were
Tell
taking a test.
them.
You did it. You wanna tell them about it, or
There's not much to say. I had to study,
I know, but still,
and
I think it's cool to let people know.
I'm trying to get licensed to be an investment advisor, and I had to study, and I had to take an exam.
That's awesome. And it's studying. It's you. I mean, we took this break, and you were studying pretty hardcore, right?
I was trying, but not as hardcore as I could have been because I ended up not passing. So I got to wait a month before I can retake the exam.
But did you feel like when you were taking it, or when you were studying, like, did you feel like you studied enough, or you just like, man, I could have studied harder or something? I don't know.
I probably could have studied harder. I wasn't as confident going in as I wanted to be or could have been.
I mean, are there like, is there like an exam? Is there like a course you could take to prepare? Or you just did it on yourself, whatever.
There are study prep courses, and I did use one of them, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like the best one, which is what I'm using now to
Oh,
make
really?
sure.
You're like, I'm gonna get the other one now. Ooh.
Well, yeah, I mean, I used one that was like, so I don't have a lot of experience in this area, so I used one that was like a kind of like a like for dummies version
Hmm.
to help me understand a little better, which is good because like it helped me to like kind of understand the concepts in a more simpler way. And now that I do, I can read the harder um, version of the study guide, and
I still think that's intense though, man. Like, obviously you're working a regular full time job. You got to come home and still put some effort into this stuff. And I mean, obviously, you can always study more, I guess, study harder. But yeah, man, the fact I mean, you seem like you're definitely keeping it consistent, though. I mean, you're pretty serious about it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah,
You did. You only missed it by like a couple questions, so
yeah,
on the
yeah, no,
next one, you'll definitely pass that.
yeah. I mean, I'm not even gonna take it until I'm consistently scoring like well above the required passable score.
There you go,
So, so what'd you do while I was doing that? Anything?
dude. I was busy, man. I was like, man, like I wasn't even able to like record my own little sessions or do my own little movie reviews. I actually haven't been watching movies in a while.
Hmm.
I've been, and surprisingly enough, when I did watch a movie, it was like something like very obscure. Like I saw this movie called Kill List.
Okay.
It's by the guy that uh, he made. He's made some pretty good movies. He's like a pretty well-known underground director from like Britain or something.
Hmm.
And it freaked me out a little bit. I was like, whoa. It kind of made me it made me realize that like, yeah, man, like there's still really there's movies out there being made that like that aren't about just making money. They're not about just being cool or pop culture ish. And that when people make a movie, man, they put an idea out there, and it's like, wow. Like I'm always amazed at how these movies get funded, but it just goes to show, man, like you can get funding for anything if I guess you have the determination.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like I've been just been working, just been trying to like get my schedule going. Uh, it's been pretty busy, and it's funny too the fact that like I've been working so much that like I actually did end up having today off, which is so amazing. It makes it seem like I wasn't doing anything, just hanging out.
Mm, I got
Yeah,
that.
man.
I've not seen many movies either because I was so busy studying. But I did after I took my exam. I went and I saw Isle of Dogs, which was nice.
Oh, dude, how was it?
It was good.
Is it like you saw his other one, right? The hotel one?
I've seen almost all of them. There's a
That
few of the more recent ones I missed,
so
but
is it just as good as Budapest Hotel? Because that movie was amazing.
I haven't seen that one actually.
Oh man, you gotta check that out.
Yeah,
But
I've been meaning to. I really like Wes Anderson. I just
yeah, I remember I didn't like his movie with the Boy Scouts. What that was called.
yeah. Oh, I can't remember the name. I know what you're talking about.
I felt that that movie was just like not really interesting, but man, Royal Tenenbaums is like literally
Yeah,
amazing.
I love it. That and I love Rushmore.
Rushmore's amazing. I mean, it seems like he crushes it like in a lot of his movies, but that one with whatever, I don't even know what the plot
Yeah,
was.
Edward Norton.
Yeah, Ed Norton and the kid or whatever.
Yeah,
It just seemed like it was just not funny or interesting.
yeah. I couldn't get into it.
But but yeah, man, the movie that we're doing today, today's
Oh
fit.
God. Yeah. So it's Disney's Star Wars Rogue One, a Star Wars story, longest freaking title ever.
I feel like I'm gonna miss the fact that it's not Lucas film or whatever. I mean, it still shows that. I don't know why they still show that emblem. It's Disney now.
Dude, there's a whole. This guy started a channel um, called Hack Fraud Media, and it's like it's doing the reviews that Red Letter Media hasn't done, and they're actually really good.
Oh yeah, what do you mean? What is he doing?
Like Red Letter Media didn't really do a real review of Force Awakens. This guy did. They didn't do any review of Rogue One, and so this guy did.
Wait, what's Red Letter? What is it?
Red Letter Media, half in the bag.
Oh, is that what they're under?
The channel or the company or whatever is called Red Letter Media.
Wait, I thought Half in the Bag was just two dudes who did it. They got bought out or something.
No, that half in the bag is the name of the show.
But Red Letter Media, they have like other shows. I didn't know that.
Yeah. They got
Oh.
half in the bag. They got the Plinkett reviews. They got best of the worst. It's a whole company.
Wait, but they did talk about
They
when they
did a
talk about
half
the
in the
Force Awakens.
bag review, but they didn't do a Plinkett review, which is like the real reviews. Those are the more in-depth ones.
So why didn't they do that? They just wanted to avoid it, or
I don't
what?
know. I don't know. The thing is with these Plinkett reviews, like they come out like once every 3 years.
Oh,
So they put a lot of time into them, I guess.
they're probably just waiting. It's probably still being made then.
I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna do it.
So this guy did it, and what happened? He
And it was actually really good. And one of the things that he pointed out about both of them, Force Awakens and Rogue One, because they're both by Disney, is that, um, and I didn't even know this, like when Fox, the other movies by Fox, like the Lucas movies, right?
hmm
They all started off with the Fox logo and the Fox like fanfare. Then they would go to the Lucasfilm logo and it would be like silent. And then you'd see the Star Wars um, theme, right?
hmm
You know, the logo. Yeah, exactly. And like the guy points out how in the new movies, it's just silence, Lucas logo, and then Star Wars music. And it's not the same because you're missing that initial like intro. And he was talking about how John Williams actually composed the theme of Star Wars in the same key as that fanfare to keep it consistent. It was intentional.
Mm.
And if you watch it, it actually makes a really good point because without it, it's weird to like have these Star Wars movies without that Fox logo and the fanfare. Excuse me.
Wow. I haven't seen an old Star Wars movie in a while, so I don't even.
Well, I'll show you the video. You can watch it. It shows exactly what he's
Oh,
talking
he
about.
does it. Gives the examples.
Yeah, yeah. So it's interesting that you say that because I didn't even notice it myself, but it actually is. It does kind of stick out.
I mean, and it's. I just noticed how weird it was that they're doing that because I'm just like, why is this? I mean, they don't own it anymore, and you would think that like maybe he put it in the contract. He's like, you always have to have that. It's like you have
The
to,
Lucasfilm logo.
yeah. It's like you have to leave that there forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I mean he must still own a piece of it. I guess, right? I
But
mean,
it's definitely. I feel like I'm telling you, man. I guess throughout this review, I feel like we're gonna be. I mean, that's what I'm gonna keep as far as my overall consensus of the movie. I feel like it's just the whole entire series is just becoming less and less because Star Wars was always about being rogue. Like the entire rogue. Like Star Trek was always more like cleaned up and like elegant, and Star Wars was like dirty everything. It's all
hmm,
grimy and
pretty.
yeah, gritty and like this galaxy of just misfits. And
Well, like Star Trek was just based on actual science or whatever. It's more serious.
right. And
Star
Star
Wars is
Trek
more
is
like
more
fantastical.
yeah, Star Trek is more about like being like it's gotta have captain and this, and Star
Yeah.
Wars is like we don't have any leaders or we don't have like.
All right.
But yeah, I feel like Disney's just made it less that like they're trying to be grimy, but they're not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a polish to it.
Right.
All right, so let's get the logistics here out of the way. So Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is a 2016 movie that's rated PG-13, American movie, directed by Gareth Edwards, written by a whole bunch of people. I'm not even going to say who. Starring Felicity Jones, Diego Luna, Alan Tudyk, Donnie Yen, Ben Mendelsohn, Forrest Whitaker, like a whole bunch of people. I'm not going to name everyone. This movie, so hang on, let me, what the hell is it? This movie was made on a budget of $200 million, estimated budget.
Hmm.
What do you think its worldwide gross was?
I think it was probably like 600 million or something.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just guessing.
No, this movie was a billion.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. I was about to say it's
I remember that was in the news. I was like, holy shit, this fucking movie made $1 billion.
a billion. I mean, but they all made like over a billion already,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know about Last Jedi, but The Force Awakens made 2 billion. This one made 1 billion, and Last Jedi might have made 1 billion, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't.
Yeah,
Maybe
probably
something
did. I
don't
was
like it.
reading or
Let me actually look that up. I'm curious.
one of the podcasts I was checking out. They were saying that the Fast and the Furious movie, the recent one, was 250 million budget, and it made $1 billion
Ugh.
worldwide. I guess that's crazy, man. These movies, like once they become franchises, like it's hard for them to just fail.
To become too big to fail.
Like yeah, I mean 250 million, 200 million sounds like a low end number now. Is that weird?
Yeah, I know.
Like 200 million. Well, that's a measly 200 million. It's not that much money. It's like, oh my God. $200 million for a basic film though.
Yeah.
I wonder what the budget for the new Deadpool movie is.
Hang on a second. I just want to see. I can't find the numbers. Hold on. Where the hell is it?
What for
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Last Jedi made 1 billion. Yeah, wow. Look at that.
I'm glad we kind of took a break and kind of worked out because you kind of see where Rogue One is sitting now. Like nobody talks about it. I think it's just gonna fade into oblivion.
Hasn't it already faded?
Pretty much, right? I mean, can you notice that? Nobody even mentions it. No one's like,
Well, part of the problem is there's too many movies coming out too often.
well, no, they come out with one a year. One.
That's a lot, dude. But back in the day, it was once every 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
But have you noticed that with shows too? Like, when The Walking Dead's not on, Fear the Walking Dead will start. And they want to keep it rotating. I mean, I think it's smart from a business standpoint. Like, you're always going to have something making money.
yeah, but it's too much. People get sick of it. It's oversaturation.
I mean, but still, like, in this day and age, like everyone's just like, our attention span is just ballistic. All right, so I'm going to admit it. like I was watching this movie last night,
Hmm.
and I found it so not interesting that I was playing PUBG Mobile
My
while
God.
I can watch this movie.
Well, part of okay, I'll get into it later. So let's do this properly. What is your history with this movie?
My history is the fact that Disney bought uh, they bought whatever Lucas what they bought Lucas Films, is that what they bought?
They bought the Star Wars franchise.
Okay. So they bought the Star Wars franchise, and once that happened, I was kind of interested, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then they started making movies, and I'm obviously gonna watch them. But what this was funny, like I felt after I saw The Force Awakens, I felt kind of gypped. I was like, man, I thought this movie was gonna be good. It was a disaster, like the way they killed Han Solo, and I was like, this is stupid. Was disappointed. Like the trailer for The Force Awakens is better than the actual movie. So you just watch that and you'd be like, man, it feels good. Because it definitely conveyed that whole feeling of what Star Wars did to me when I first saw the originals. Like it felt like that. The trailer did. The
Okay.
movie did not. So with Rogue One, I was just like, I had the slanty face. Like, what's that one meme with the African kid with
I
the
don't know.
it's like basically like the like I don't really trust you face. So
Okay.
so I just waited. I didn't go see it in the theater. I didn't see Star Wars Force Awakens in the theater either, by the way. But
Yeah, I figured.
with this one, I was just like, and then all the reviews were like, it's better than the Force Awakens. But I was like, dude, anything's better than the Force Awakens. Like, it's darker. Like, dude, the only thing darker about this movie was the way it looked. That's about it. But like this whole, like, it seemed like people were there's people out there that are still trying to be like, we still believe in the Star Wars franchise. It can still be good, but it's just they're just with the hype. So when did I see this though? Oh, I waited till there was a good copy from my friends to let me borrow, and then
Hmm.
and allegedly, and then yeah, I saw it and I was just like not impressed. I think the last 10 minutes or the last whatever that Vader scene was probably the coolest. That was about it though.
Yeah.
Even like the disaster scenes, I was just kind of like, lame. All right, what's your history? Go on.
Um, I saw this in theaters like right when it came out. I was like really excited for this. I remember I was like watching the trailers. The trailers are great. Like those got me excited.
I mean, that's the thing, man. They're crushing it with the
Yeah,
trailers.
trailers are
Like,
great.
I'm always like into that. Like, I'm just like, man,
Even the
looks.
Han Solo trailer looks awesome, but even though it's probably gonna suck.
The Han Solo trailer does not look that good to me. But like, yeah, there's some
I
scenes where it's
think the
just
trailer
like,
looks great.
well, I'd say yeah, some scenes are kind of like, man, it might be good.
Oh. Anyway, so I went and I saw it, and I was like, my first reaction was like, "What the hell did I just see?"
As in like not good, or as in
As in, like I had like no feelings toward it. I was so like bored. I had no emotion.
as in like you just didn't care for any other characters,
Like, it was just so boring.
dude. That's
I
how I
had
felt
no,
yesterday. That's how I felt last night when I was watching it.
yeah, and the thing is, like, I was really looking forward to it because I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, it's not going to be the glossy,
Yeah, it was supposed to
funny
be like, yeah,
Force Awakens kind of movie. It's going to be like dark and serious,
we're even
but it wasn't.
grimier, and it wasn't. Oh, did you like the Force Awakens though?
When I first saw it, I liked it, but now I really hate it.
So like when you walked out of the theater, you're like, man, that was cool.
Yeah, like I enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
then like the more I thought about it, and the more I kind of watched videos and stuff, I started to realize like it's it's a terrible movie, and I hate the fact that it's just a literal copy of A New Hope.
And I feel like Rogue One was basically trying to copy or trying to just set up the New Hope, and I'm just like, you don't need to do that. Like we already saw
Yeah,
that
that was
movie.
so stupid.
It's like who
Here's the thing,
cares? Yeah, who
like
cares if
the
they're
half
building that?
the half in the bag review really captures like what doesn't work about this movie, and they like what they say in it is that they're like this movie got Star Wars wrong. It's the
Wow.
fan version of Star Wars.
Whoa, that's kind of
Like
cool.
like they point out they're like people didn't think what are those? The AT-AT walkers. People didn't like Star Wars didn't say they were cool. Fans said they were cool. So now you got to have AT-AT walkers in this movie, even though it doesn't make any sense. Like in
Dude,
that
that is
last scene.
so true.
Yeah. And it's like you got to have that Vader scene because Vader's so cool. Well, Star Wars didn't say Vader was cool. Vader was just a guy in the movie. But now it's all about you got to have you got to shove him into every fucking scene.
I feel like
'Cause-
yeah, man. I feel like they did that literally, and it's it. I'm always amazed too at how they put all this money into it. They got all these actors who are really good actors, but like everybody's just flat as a piece of wood. Like everything, like
Yeah,
the dialogue.
that's one of the biggest problems with this movie is that their characters are not developed at all. There's
Yeah,
no arcs. No one learns or grows or anything.
that's what I'm saying. I
Characters
feel
so
like
bland.
Ever since Disney did their thing and took over, like I feel like every script is that. We're like, oh, we'll just make the characters. It's very like, let's make this movie for like a 6-year-old, like because we don't want anybody to think that like it's going to be anything deep. It's a 6-year-old script. I mean, not 6 years old, but
Right. Well, Red Letter Media points out in their Force Awakens review that one of the things that was really missing in Force Awakens is that it is really bland. None of the characters are like, there's no like sex or anything. Very like safe. And I mean, it's like this too. There's like characters don't fight. There's no personalities. They don't clash.
no. Are you saying that like the latest one, was it called?
Last Jedi?
Last Jedi. Are you saying that the Last Jedi kind of switches that up, or is it kind of the same? Where it's still bland.
Um,
I mean, because you've had now it's like a lot of time has passed.
it to a degree, yeah. I mean, there are like Luke Skywalker actually has an arc in that movie, and there's conflict.
So
Um,
so it actually is better than these last two because I'm like Jesus.
I think so, much better.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
I mean, but the biggest reason why is because it's not just rehashing the same crap.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Like these last two movies, like I feel like they're literally just losing the audience. Like, and I don't understand why they feel like they need it. Dude, J.J. Abrams supposedly put together that first script. I mean, why would it have been so bad? Like, he usually doesn't
Well,
do
it
that,
was
right?
him and Lawrence Kasdan. I don't know, but dude, they, it's not a mystery. Like after the prequels, people were rubbed the wrong way about Star Wars. They had to do something safe to show people that they they could make a traditional Star Wars movie, and people fell for it.
It's funny
It
how the
worked.
prequels look more like daring than
Yeah,
these
no,
movies.
that's true. They were, yeah. I mean, they may have been terrible, but at least they were somewhat original.
It's funny too, man. Like that word originality. It seems like Hollywood like is afraid. Like they're just like, we can't do that. No, no, no.
Yeah,
Well,
no, that's true.
original.
Everything's got to be a franchise or a sequel.
Like I feel like to a shareholder or whatever, the word original is like the devil or something. Like, oh, can't do that.
Uh, all right, so that's my history. So let's talk about the cast.
What cast?
Well, I liked K2SO. I thought he was funny.
Dude, I feel like the robot was basically the best thing in the
Yeah,
movie.
the
But
robot had more personality than anybody.
dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that like everybody was basically a robot and the actual robot had more.
The girl, Jin, was like, oh my God, like she had like one emotion, like sadness. Like the whole movie just looked like depressed. Like I wanted to give
Dude,
her like some
the entire
antidepressants.
movie, she has that look on her face like,
Yeah,
I hate everything.
yeah, like why should we fight back? Why should we have hope? There is no hope. What are you talking? And at the end, she's like, suddenly like does a 180. No,
We have
we need
love.
to keep hope alive.
Dude, that is
Let's
so
do
funny,
it.
dude. It's like they give her like the whole
We can do
monologue
it.
scene,
Like
right?
what? What?
Like, she's like the entire movie, I've had this like this glum look on my face where I just don't care about anything and
Yeah.
anyone around me. And dude, even the robot feels sorry for her. He's like, or what is she says something to the robot towards the end. She's like, I don't know, they have like that moment where like he trusts her now or some bullshit.
But even in the climax, which she suddenly like her character is supposed to suddenly believe in the rebellion, and she's all optimistic about it. She's still like, yeah, we can do it now. Let's go, everybody. It's like
Dude,
okay.
it was funny like there's that scene where they're about to do the attack, like the main attack. And like for some
The
reason,
meeting.
like they're all looking to her. They're like,
Yeah.
You lead us, please. And she gives like some really just half baked freaking speech. It was just,
Right.
dude, it was like the most like like if I heard that speech, I'd be like,
Uninspiring.
yeah, it was so uninspiring. I was like, let's just go back home. But like, dude, I mean, even like all the leaders are just like, remember that scene where like they're having like that debate, like, what do we do? And then she's like, we can do this. We have to fight. Wait, did she say that, or did someone else say that?
I think someone else said it. She says something stupid. She's like, hope is all we have. If we don't have hope, we're fucked or something. I don't know.
It was her dad, right? The dude. The
Yeah,
dad.
Galen or so.
Dude, he is like an amazing actor, by the way.
Yeah, so actually that's funny because I would say that he did a great job.
Like, well, this is the thing. Like,
Emoted.
they put him in all these movies, and he's just making money. But dude, there's a movie that I'm gonna watch from him. I haven't seen it yet. It's called I Saw. Wait, I forgot which one it was, but it's like a foreign movie where he's like a kindergarten teacher or something.
Yeah, and he's accused of like
Oh yeah, yeah. What was that called?
I don't remember the name, but I know what you're talking about. I heard it was good.
I heard it's like amazing. Like,
Yeah.
it's like literally like insane. Like, but I'm gonna peep that. But I've watched other movies from that guy, and it's just a slap in the face to see him in a movie like this
Hmm.
where he's just useless.
Um, I think we kind of agree. You know, he did a great job, but everyone else was just bland and forgettable.
That's funny too. I don't even remember his name. It's like some
The
weird,
character?
or no, his actual name.
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah,
okay.
dude, that's the thing. This movie was beautifully made. Like the scenes look pretty cool, but man, like it's just there's no depth.
Well, hold on. Let's go in order here. So,
Oh, yeah.
that was the cast, and then let's talk about what the actual plot of this movie. So let me get the synopsis.
Yeah, because I'm still trying to wonder like why they even. this,
What?
the plot is such a basic plot. It's like every Star Wars
Are you
plot.
kidding me? This is the most unnecessarily convoluted fucking movie ever.
It's so complex.
All right, I'm gonna read this. I'm amazed they were able to fit this into a paragraph. Okay, let's see what it says. From Lucasfilm comes the first of the Star Wars standalone films. Why do they have to put that in here? It has nothing to do with the fucking movie.
That's the thing. Like it's like a whole like it's a standalone. Like ooh,
Wait, am I reading the right thing? Yeah,
that's a feature.
apparently. All right. From Lucasfilm comes the first of the Star Wars standalone films, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, an all-new epic adventure
All new. Mm.
in a time of conflict. A group of unlikely heroes band together on a mission to steal the plans to the Death Star,
You gotta be kidding me.
the Empire's ultimate weapon of destruction.
Really?
This key event in the Star Wars timeline brings together ordinary people who choose to do extraordinary things, and in doing so, become part of something greater than themselves.
Extraordinary thing, dude. I want to be the guy that gets the job, that gets to be able to write stuff like
That was
that.
the most like general high level synopsis I ever read in my life.
Dude, you realize that there's people in an office building, working at whatever Disney Studios, and they have to come up with stuff like that. They write out the plot lines for the script, and it's just so.
This
like,
says that George Lucas he got a writing credit. What do you
really?
know?
He actually did.
But this just says based on characters created by. So I think he just got a credit, even though he didn't like actually write anything.
Right. He's making money. He's getting like 25 cents every time.
Every time someone says "star,"
Right.
he gets royalties.
He's getting some sort of royalty in the mail. Wow.
All right, so I want to flesh out this ridiculously convoluted plot because it's so fucking stupid. So, okay, Galen Erso works for the Empire, building the Death Star, which, by the way, is a contradiction from the prequels. Because in the prequels, they said that the Machine Army built the Death Star. So right off the bat, this movie doesn't make any fucking sense.
Wow. Why would they do that?
I don't know, because they're fucking idiots and they just want to. But here's what's really ironic: if they were trying to ignore the prequels, it doesn't make any sense because you had Jimmy Smits in the movie, which is a direct connection. What the fuck?
He's in the prequel?
He was in the prequels. He was in Revenge of the Sith. He was Leia's dad,
What the hell?
and then he was in this one too. So anyway, so he's building the Death Star, and then so like fucking unnecessarily intricate. He apparently he builds a flaw in the Death Star, and then he tells a pilot, and then somehow convinces him to defect, and then sends him to find an extremist named Saw Gerrera to tell Saw about the weakness of the Death Star. So he goes to do that, and then Saw Gerrera doesn't believe him and imprisons him. Then at the same time, somehow the Rebel Alliance finds out about this pilot. I don't think they ever explain how. And so to get the information that he has, they somehow also know that he's going to talk to Saw Gerrera. But they can't talk to Saw because he's an extremist. So they kidnap the daughter of Galen to get, hoping that she has a good relationship with Saw, to get her to talk to him to find out what this pilot had to say about Galen. Wow.
Wait, the rebels kidnap her?
Yeah.
Well, that's right. That's why they break her out of jail.
Right, they break her out of that, right. And then they were like, oh, or they think, I'm sorry, I may have got that mixed up. They think she has a good relationship with her dad. And then she says she doesn't. So then they go, oh, well, let's have you talk to Saw. So then she goes to talk to Saw, and Saw is like, then they have this like dramatic confrontation where she's like, you left me as a child. And he's like, I did what I had to do. We're in this fight together, or whatever, this bullshit.
Oh,
and then
her and her dad?
No, her and Saw. That stupid scene in the beginning where they.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then they fire the Death Star on Jeddah, and then the planet's blowing up. And even though he's perfectly fine, he's like, they all run away, and he's like, "Run, go! You leave me!
I don't need to go
Save
with
the
you.
cause! Save the rebellion!"
I'm supposed to die.
Yeah, and they're like, "What do you mean? You just come on the ship?" And he's like, "No, I can't."
He's like, you see, my legs are made out of robot legs.
Yeah,
I
but
can't.
anyway. At least have him be crushed under like a piece of rubble or something. That would make it a little more realistic.
Yeah, make it seem like he got hurt or something. Jesus.
So anyway, so they go to find Galen. He gets killed by accident or whatever, and then they're like, "Fuck, we're fucked." But before he dies, Galen tells her, Jyn, his daughter, about the flaw, and he says that there's like plans somewhere in the Death Star computer or whatever. Or
And she's like,
the Empire's computers.
and she's like, Father, oh my God, I love you. Even though the whole time she's kind of like, I haven't seen my father in 15 years. I don't care.
Yeah, the whole relationship was poorly handled.
Yeah, because when she sees him, she's like, oh.
She convinces the rebels to steal the plans. So they say no. So she and her band of buddies decide to go themselves, and then the rebels eventually believe her and send a bunch of dudes in. Did you know that in that last firefight there was actual footage, leftover footage from the original Star Wars that was edited into the movie?
What do you mean, like the first Star Wars?
Yeah.
How was it edited into the movie? Like what part?
With the X-wing, all that stuff. There was footage from the original Death Star battle that Gareth Edwards he edited it into the movie.
Oh, when they go in and fight. Or I guess when they're fighting, because they're fighting. There's like another war front in space too, right?
The end when they're in space, and they're like, the battle above Scarif.
Right. Yeah. Admiral Akbar or the lookalike.
Yeah, Akbar. Yeah, it's a trap.
Was that him, or was it like a guy that looked like him?
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, it was like one of those alien guys in the ship.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was a scene where like
Admiral Akbar is a fish. He's not a real person.
Right, I'm saying like, well, but there was a guy that looked like him in that movie.
Oh, wait, what? No, you're thinking of a different movie, right?
No, it's Rogue One. I mean, I'm saying like when they entered, right. Basically, it was right before they're saying like, oh, we have to close the shield because the rebels are
right. Yeah, that's Admiral Akbar. Yeah.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, who else would it be?
I'm just saying, it could be a younger version of him or something.
You know what I never realized? It can't be a younger version. This movie takes place 5 seconds before Star Wars.
Oh, okay, I guess so. That
Remember?
was him.
Yeah. So you know what I just realized? The guy's name is Akbar, but he's not Indian.
But dude, this is back when like back then like you were foreign if you look like an alien.
What are they trying to say about Indians? We all look like a bunch of fish.
Yeah. So like if
I'm,
you're
I'm
so
offended.
foreign, you're basically another species.
It's messed up, man.
It's cultural
Thanks a lot,
appropriation.
Lucas. Racist.
I miss the days when like race wasn't taboo back in the day. In the 80s. Nobody cared.
All right, well, that's the plot of this freaking movie. What did
Dude,
we talk about next? Whether we
and real
liked it?
quick, the
Oh
beginning
yeah.
of the movie was just so corny, dude. Like, all right, so the beginning of the movie sets up, right? And that ship is floating and it's going to that land or whatever. It looked all
Uh-huh.
cool. But then like the scene's like, they're coming. It's like, all right, how the fuck did you know that they were coming, first of all? And then once the ship lands, it doesn't sense that that little girl's like running and shit, like escaping.
Oh,
Like,
that dude. Did you notice how the ship parked like 30 miles away, and then they had to walk?
yo, that's another thing too. It's just like,
What
what
was
is
that all
going
about?
on? Like it's like yeah, they're coming, but like you have like 80 hours before
Yeah,
they
no, it
freaking
was
get
just
to you.
yeah. That it was just like fake drama.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like let's just shoot this scene because it looks so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's fake drama. It looked dramatic, but it was like illogical.
my gosh, like it's yeah, it just
It
doesn't.
looked cool as hell, but you know what I mean? Like it made no sense.
Yeah, let's get off the boat and let's get off the boat. Let's get off the ship
Wow.
and walk 100 miles
Yeah.
to where they're
So they could
living.
see us. We give them plenty of time to run and hide. And why did the little girl have a stormtrooper doll? Why would there be a stormtrooper doll? That's like having a doll of a Nazi.
Dude, this is the thing. Like, I feel like this movie in every Star Wars movie now, they have scenes like literally. There's like some executive that's looking over their shoulder and like, make sure you put in a scene where they're giving her like some kind of like trinket because that's how we can sell more toys or whatever we're gonna sell. Like,
There are no stormtrooper
there's a
dolls.
scene where she's like flashbacking where like the mom gives her like some necklace
Yeah,
and I'm
the
like that has nothing to do with anything. Like who cares that she gave
uh,
her a necklace? Like what does that have to do with anything? And in the entire movie, the necklace is never even like thought about. Maybe like I don't even remember.
wait, the necklace is the kyber crystal.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
missed
no,
that.
that was yeah, it was
That's why they had the scene because that's where it had the whatever that was necessary for the plans of the ship or whatever
I don't remember.
for
The
the Death
the
Star.
kyber crystal, hang on. No, the kyber crystal was important because when they went to Jeddah, the blind guy recognized her because she had the kyber crystal on her
Are
nipple.
you? That's it? No way.
That from what that was, there may have been more to it, but that's all I remember.
That's freaking terrible. Yeah, and how does
But
you
don't
notice
you
it?
know that kyber crystals are what lightsabers are made out of?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I had no
you didn't
idea.
know that, huh? Now you know.
So she had it on her neck, and he's like, I'm blind. I sense that.
Yeah,
Kyber crystal.
he's like, that's a nice kyber crystal. How much? And she's like, what? Are you talking to me, blind guy? And he's like, yes.
The way that they introduced these characters of hers or her bandit of buddies was just like it was like the most half-ass, like just convoluted. I mean, literally, the movie's like, look, he's Chinese. You should be happy that he's Chinese. That's us. That's Star Wars. All right, good job for us. Pat on the back. It's like they're patting themselves on the back. Look, we cast him perfectly. That's all you need to focus on.
All right.
Like and the other guy, whatever the guy with the vacuum cleaner on his back. Uh,
Yeah, that those like again, they had no character development.
even the dude that looked like a Latin version of Han Solo.
Oh yeah, Guy McAccent.
What's his name?
Red Letter Media calls him Guy McAccent. He's got no defining traits at all other than he has an accent.
Dude, that is so true. That's a like guy Mick accent. That's so stupid. Yo, dude, this guy. They try to make him look all ruthless because remember he shoots the guy in the back. He's like, don't worry. Thanks
Yeah.
for telling me all your information. He guns him down. It's like, oh, he's so ruthless. how could he do that to the guy that was just trying to help him? I was like, dude, Han shot first, man, but like, don't freaking beat it like a dead horse.
Yeah, it's fake drama.
I was reading this thing earlier that Roger Ebert came up with this. It's like actually a term now. It's called the idiot plot. Let me just double check.
Idiot plot.
Yeah, Roger Ebert idiot plots. It was on Reddit. Did you see it? Yeah, here it is. Check it out.
No.
Just put the microphone over here so I don't have to freaking check it out. In literary criticism, an idiot plot is a plot which is kept in motion solely by virtue of the fact that everybody involved is an idiot, and
Yeah. Okay.
and where the story would otherwise be over if this was not the case.
Yeah, I got you.
It's a narrative where its conflict comes from characters not recognizing or not being told key information that would resolve the conflict, often because of plot contrivances. The only thing that prevents the conflict's resolution is the character's constant avoidance or obliviousness of it throughout the plot, even if it was already obvious to the viewer. So the characters are all idiots and that they're too obtuse to see.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So I feel like every movie or every Star Wars movie has this.
Wait, what?
I feel like it was sort of an idiot plot.
Every Star Wars movie? In what way?
No, I mean these new ones or whatever. Are the ones that I've seen. This one and The Force Awakens. But
okay.
but a great example is in The Covenant.
Alien Covenant?
Yeah, where it's like, the top renowned biologist, and she's like, oh, let's not use any helmets or like any sort of thing to guard ourselves from any biological forms. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's a good example. All right, let's see. So, I mean, I don't think we need to explicitly say this. We both didn't really like this movie, right? I mean,
but yeah, you didn't like it from the onset. Like I thought. I mean, I didn't like it either.
well, here's my issues. There's no character development. The plot is paper thin. There's too much fan service. Those are my negatives. Positives, it looks great. Mads Mikkelsen's great. K2SO was funny. And that's about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think what I'd want to add is that no, yeah, you basically touched it. You basically got it all covered. I mean, the fact that they didn't even need to put Vader in there. Like everything he talked was just so corny. Remember, he kind of half chokes the guy.
Yeah, he's like, "Don't choke on your aspirations." Ha 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 ha.
I was like, dude, this is like so corny. Like he walks away and doesn't kill the guy. That's not Vader.
People call it a dad joke.
That's so true. It is a dad joke.
So this movie, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, they made this movie for like 2-year-olds. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, and it's sad because the fans of Star Wars are in their 50s now. So, I mean, I don't get why you would make a movie. I mean, who kept the movie going? Who kept Star Wars going? Not the kids of the fans of the Star Wars. Like, I'm not gonna have a kid and be like, I expect you to appreciate Star Wars movies. Like, dude, these kids are like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Easy money.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Disney's stock tripled, or not tripled, but it went up pretty high.
The
when they bought that shit.
What do you call it? The like nostalgia factor potential is too lucrative to mess up.
But this is the thing. So you still thought Last Jedi. You still thought The Last Jedi was somewhat salvageable and decent.
I liked it, yeah.
Compared to what you just saw with these last two.
Yeah, but again, one of the major reasons why I liked it was because it did something new and different.
I'm really interested to see if all the backlash that it got is going to keep me entertained with it still. Because, I mean, granted, Rogue One, the same issues that people say the Last Jedi had, Rogue One had, and I saw that, like, like every rebel was like some ethnicity that was like, I'm not white. Look at me, I'm a rebel. And then every bad guy was like obviously white person. Uh, and it's, to me, that's just like, dude, just stop trying to like make a white person the devil. It's to the point where I'm defending white people.
What do you?
Uh,
I'm so lost. What are you talking about?
no, I'm saying like the reason why I'm like so critical about the Last Jedi
Okay.
is because this, the whole social justice warrior, like every review that I saw literally spent like 10 minutes talking about this, where they're just like, dude, like, the white man's the devil, bad guy, good guy is ethnicity type person that doesn't even speak English that well, good person, and it's just like they're trying to ingrain it in these movies as if like, as they're spoon feeding us, as if like, you see, it's all these bad people. And it's just like, what is the whole point of this? Like, why are you doing, like stop focusing on like how people should look or how they should act, and just focus on a good storyline. Just give me like a good story. I don't care if it's like, all black people in the movie. I just care if the movie's good. Like, I don't care if it's like all white people in the movie. It's just give me a good, dude. The reason why we watch movies is because we want to be manipulated. We want to be manipulated in a way that's entertaining, is what I mean. Like, I don't want to be manipulated in a way that's like telling me that like that I should feel guilty, if I'm white. And I feel
Yeah,
like
I
that,
I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you? What, there's no race messages in the Last Jedi.
well, no, I still haven't seen it yet, but
I don't know what you're talking. Dude, there's Asian people, there's black people. I mean, what are you talking about? It's a very
no, I'm
diverse
saying
movie.
like, dude, it's all the bad people are white. Like all the good people are like Asians and like non-white. Like, it's, you notice that, right?
Okay, yeah. Talking
Yeah,
about
there's a
Kylo
reason.
Ren and uh
Yeah,
yeah
I mean, dude, like that's like that's like some brainwashing type of mechanism. Like, it's horrible.
yeah, I think you're over like reading a little too much into it.
Like, look, in like in Rogue
Right.
One, you have. I was surprised that Jimmy Smits was even like in the movie, because I thought that they were just gonna. I mean, this is where I thought they were just gonna make every leader like a woman. Like,
Like this
and
is getting like crazy off topic. Let's talk about the reviews and stuff. Uh
but I'm just saying, like, that's my whole point. Like, it's, I feel like these movies are getting, they're way off topic now, man. Like, they're not focusing on a good story anymore. They care about like how things look. And
Look, there is no story to tell. Star Wars was the original movies like it was a perfectly contained trilogy. All this other crap is just taking a story that had no more story left to tell and trying to stretch it out into a whole bunch of other crap.
oh yeah, they're trying to make more money.
Like with
Like,
Rogue
I
One,
get
there's
it.
no story. There's nothing to tell. There's no backstory to why there was that flaw in the Death Star. They just made some shit up to make a
Yeah,
story out of it.
and that's, I mean, that's what we're definitely hammering that across, because
The
like,
new trilogy is just um, a rehash of the original one because there's no more story to tell.
yeah,
The story's done.
dude,
They
I'm telling you,
defeated
bro.
the Empire, and that's it.
But look, there's a way to do this correctly. Like, what are some examples where they actually did this right? I'm sure there's a couple. I'm trying
Well,
to.
that's again to my point. That's also part of why I like The Last Jedi because it's actually instead of rehashing the same crap, it's coming up with something new.
Mhm.
That to me is the only way you could do it is to do something different, do something new, focus on something fucking new, not to just redo the same shit over and over and over because that's what people are familiar with.
Well, I mean, the whole thing of like Han Solo's new movie, it's just like,
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
just a
need the Han
rehash.
Solo movie.
Yeah, you don't. There's nothing to tell. No one gives a fuck about how he got the Millennium Falcon or how he met Chewbacca or where did he bought his stupid vest or like why do you need a backstory for that? Who gives a fuck? He was a side character of an
Dude, I love how on
ensemble
Reddit
movie.
they're like, like, you talk about they're gonna make a movie about the tattooing band or whatever,
Oh yeah, the Cantina banner, and then
like
they're gonna do like a Jabba the Hutt prequel
how
film.
they formed, how they freaking became.
Yeah, like what the fuck? It's ridiculous.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, Disney. If you're, I mean, if you listen to this, like, you guys are, you guys are on crack, man. These guys are like way overboard.
it's well, all right. Let's move this along here. So this movie, I'm like kind of shocked, has an 85% tomatometer
Dude,
score.
this
It's
look, this is
certified
why
fresh.
I don't trust any of that stuff anymore, man.
It has an 87% audience score. The critic consensus says Rogue One draws deep on Star Wars mythology while breaking new narrative and aesthetic ground. What the fuck?
Like,
And
who did they
suggesting
pay? Dude, they paid somebody to say.
and suggesting a bright blockbuster future for the franchise. How does it break new narrative and aesthetic ground? What? It looks exactly like the other fucking
Dude,
movies.
who said establishing a bright future? Like, how dare they? Like, what are they trying to say here? Like, oh yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
look, everything's a bright future for people who have control over this, and they just keep pumping out these movies. What I want to know is when people are going to put their foot down and be like, we're going to stop supporting this garbage. Like, if it's a bad movie, like, say that it is, but don't like give it an 85. 85? Dude, I think The Godfather has an 85.
All right, well, I'm going to read a couple of reviews, just the snippets. So here's a positive review from Christopher Orr of The Atlantic. He says Rogue One is largely free of the weight of myth and expectation that were born by The Force Awakens, and this turns out to be both a good thing and a bad thing. Okay,
Hmm.
whatever. Here's a negative review from Amy Nicholson from MTV. She says, audiences once packed theaters to gawk at the future. Now it's to soak in the past. The emphasis is on packing in as much nostalgia as possible and tersely editing it together to resemble a film. Yeah, I agree with that. She
That's
gave
kind of
us
what you said, yeah.
yeah. Bob Mondella gave it a positive review. He said, um, with all the aerial dogfights, armored combat vehicles, grenades, flamethrowers, and snipers, Rogue One feels like a film for those who think that most Star Wars movies are sufficiently like World War II. Rogue One feels like a film for those who think that most Star Wars movies are insufficiently like World War II flicks. I don't even know what that means. And what's really weird is this is a fresh positive review, but he gave it a 6.5 out of 10. What the fuck?
I'm telling you, bro, like these uh, it's just it's when it comes to blockbuster movies like this, like I don't that's why I don't trust reviews anymore. Like I'll trust these types of reviews when it comes to, like, small budget films, like foreign films. But when it comes
Well,
to these types of movies, man, like the Fast and the Furious and shit like that, it's like, dude, like
well,
what?
I'm gonna read a few more. Here's a
Yeah.
negative one from Christopher Ewan Reed. When the film slows down enough for the dialogue to sink in, we realize that the story, such as it is, has been cobbled together from all previous Star Wars films combined. 1.5 out of 4.
Nice. Applaud. I it's true, man. I just look, I get it, man. Like this movie is designed for all audiences, and it's designed to be like, pop culture-ish, and someone seeing, someone hearing us talk about, or someone hearing me talk about it, they'd be like, "Why are you such a freaking downer, bro? Why are you so cynical? Why are you so? Just have a good time, man. Just enjoy the movie." And that's what they always try to put it back on. Like, you're just gonna enjoy the movie. Who cares? Just eat popcorn. Just don't even worry about it. And
Turn your brain off.
yeah, they're basically just trying to say turn your brain off. And if you didn't do that, then there's a problem with you, not the movie. And it's just like, all right, fine, fine.
Oh, I just want to say this real quick. I totally forgot. I thought that Ben Mendelsohn also did a great job as Krennic.
As who?
Krennic, director Krennic. He was
Which
one of
one?
the main villains.
Which one's Ben Mendelsohn?
He's the main director Krennic.
He's the guy that we see at the beginning when he walks
Yeah,
into the.
right. That guy.
Oh, dude, he's his acting is insane. Have you seen
Yeah,
this
he's
guy's
great.
movie?
I've seen like one other thing he's in, but I thought he was great.
Well, he always plays like the slimy, snaky character.
He should have been the main villain. They shouldn't have had Tarkin and Vader and all this other shit. They don't need all these
That's what
other
I'm saying.
guys.
Don't put any of those guys in the movie. Just make it a standalone film, quote unquote. I just yeah, just add. All right, I'll give him some tips here. All right, if you guys are ever gonna redo Rogue One as if it never existed, you make a movie. It has nothing to do with any of the Star Wars movies
Yeah,
ever.
take out all the fan service.
And all right, so you could even like reference the Death Star, but at the end of the movie do it. And like reference it for like a second. and then it'll drive people nuts. They're like, oh my god, they said it. They said the word Death Star, or they said whatever.
The very last word of the film should be death, and then the movie cuts off. So
Yeah,
you're like, was he about
exactly.
to say Death Star? Oh my god.
I thought he said it. I thought he said it, man.
Did he say death or debt?
I it
He's
could be
talking
that
about
they're
his
gonna,
budget.
and that's how the Death Star was made. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then everybody starts creating their own plot lines and ideas. But yeah, man, they failed. Look, this is what I'm saying, man. Like I want to know. I want the names. I want the names of these people who thought it was a genius idea to come up with this plot line. I mean, right now these guys are hiding. I mean, they're not hiding. They're probably like on yachts or something. I mean,
All right.
but don't you agree with me here on this part
Hmm.
that whenever people dislike a movie like this, that's part of a big franchise, it still makes money, right? But then, like with the critics or whatever, the people actually that like the movie, they always try to go back to like, well, look how much money it made. What do you have to say now? And it's just like, what? Like that was my big problem with Black Panther. Like every article that I saw popping up on my feed or whatever Reddit feed was like, Black Panther does it again, exceeds profit margins. Oh my god, dude! I'm like, dude, what am I fucking Goldman Sachs and shit right now? Like, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about a movie that's about like entertaining people? Or are we talking about like projections for like the next quarter? I'm just like, dude, and it goes back and forth all the time, and it's like the media loves to play this up. Like, if they're not talking about controversial moments of like, you see that black people said that this and this shouldn't happen, and if they're not talking about that type of thing, it's always back to like the projections of how much money this movie made or didn't make.
Well, look, I mean, here's what I'll say about it, right? It's the movie business at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's like you got to look at both aspects of it, right? It has to be a balance, like art, but at the same time you got to make money too.
Yeah.
So you can't just completely rule out the financial aspect.
I mean,
You
look at
know?
us. I mean, we're sitting here talking about a movie, and we're obviously just shooting the shit, and we're just like, it sucked or it was good, and
Yeah, but
it's
as soon as we get paid for our reviews, you better believe I'm going to be saying really nice things about
I'm gonna be that guy.
the
What's the one guy
studios
that
that pay me to review their movies and be like, Rogue One, oh my God, this is what we've been waiting for since the original movie. Like
I'll be that guy that's like,
I would be up at night wondering like that was such a plot hole in Star Wars that they were able to take down the Death Star. It doesn't make any sense.
this is gonna
Someone's
add
got
a
to
bright
explain it. Now
future.
they finally did it.
This movie
They
adds a
redeemed
yeah,
that one scene.
it adds a bright future to the franchise.
Yeah.
What they just did.
Yeah. No, I mean my future was dark. And then this movie came out and it's like someone turned on the light.
People are sending me consoles and the PCs, and I have all this free stuff that is like expensive, and I feel like every movie that we review now deserves accolade and prowess.
You should actually watch. Red Letter Media has a show called The Nerd Crew, and it basically makes fun of exactly what you're talking about. I think you would find it hilarious.
Gosh, it's funny too because I watched that. There's this one guy named he does a show, Box Office Addict,
Okay, yeah, you've talked about that before.
and his channel's called Please Rewind, and he's like, dude, he gets really philosophical. Like this guy knows. Like obviously he talks about movies and like the budgets and everything. He was talking about that Rampage and like that other movie, I Feel Pretty. And
Mm.
he goes into like, we kind of do it, but we don't do it that much. But he goes into like some crazy stuff where it's just like, whoa, like he talks about politics and like, why this or that. But he always knows how to bring it around full circle. It's really interesting to hear this guy. I'm like, whoa, this guy freaking crushes it. And I don't really have time to listen to his stuff that much, but every Sunday he still gets together and does like an overview. Dude, he's gonna go crazy for Infinity War, by the way, which is next week. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Saturday morning. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, really? You got tickets already?
No, I would
Dude,
never pre-purchase tickets. I do Movie Pass, so I can't
oh,
even.
that's right, dude. They're gonna allow that for that one?
Of course, you just can't do any of the non-standard like IMAX and shit.
Oh, that's not bad, dude. I gotta say, man, that is one movie I want to see. That one and Deadpool 2 in the theater.
Hmm.
Like, I would go see them.
Yeah, I'm excited. I read the initial reactions and they were mostly positive. So
Is it who directed it? The brothers from
yeah, the Russo brothers. They did
Civil
Civil War and Winter
War?
Soldier.
Oh man,
And they did a couple episodes of Arrested Development.
I was watching Arrested Development for a while. I saw like the first season, or I stopped after a couple episodes of the first season.
I love that show.
It's
Yeah,
a great show, but it was like it got to the point where it's just way too repetitive.
the car, the stair car, is in Civil War in the background at the airport.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, dude, that was some funny ass episodes though, man. That show was freaking. It's a really original show.
Yeah, I love it. All right, let's wrap it up. Unless there's anything else you want to mention.
Um, I'm trying to think. I started watching this show called Frontier. It's about like the fur trade in like the 1700s or something. It's weird too. Discovery Channel, bro. The Discovery Channel got together with Netflix or in conjunction, and they made this show. It's like they're in season 3 right now. And I'm surprised that Discovery Channel would do this because this show is like, they're cursing. There's like blood. It's like pretty gory stuff for something like Discovery. But you can tell Discovery's like, we're trying to make some money too, yo. Let's stack that paper. Shark Week is not everything. We can't make enough Shark Week. But yeah, so it's on Netflix. It's got Jason Momoa in it, and I saw the first episode and I wasn't too impressed. But it's actually got it's a little bit promising though. It wasn't horrible,
Mm-hmm.
but it was definitely interesting. It's kind of cool. Like the characters, the way they're setting them up is, leaves room for some discovery. So it's not bad. Get that hint, discovery. Oh, and I was watching. Oh, and the new season of Billions came out. Came out like in March. You seen that show?
No, I heard it's good though.
Dude, that show is like amazing. Highly recommend it. Like
I
the
heard that
writing.
new Lost in Space is pretty good.
I heard opposite of that. I heard it
Oh,
was. I heard that it's. Oh yeah. I heard that it has the idiot plot.
really? Oh, really?
Yeah, because I guess on Reddit or whatever they explain like different plot lines. Are like, yeah, the new show. They mentioned that show though, so like with dude, I don't dude. Why is that, man? Every time there's a space movie, like the characters have to be like idiots. Somebody please stop that trend.
I don't know. What do you want to watch for next week?
Dude, I'm definitely like I'm gonna be working, when all weekend, so I won't be able to even touch Infinity War. But I will be like looking. I will be interested in making sure that like, yeah, whatever. I'll probably watch. I'll read the reviews and like just soak it in, and hopefully I watch it soon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that movie. I'm
I'm talking
definitely
about no, dude. I'm talking about for the next week's episode.
Oh shit.
What are you talking about?
I'm like, yeah, I'm looking forward to Deadpool.
I don't care what movies you're watching.
Oh shit, what should we watch? What's on Netflix? Because obviously somebody needs to have it on fucking Netflix to fucking watch it.
We
Oh, I
should
gotta watch it.
watch.
No, Netflix.
By the way, just watch and see how many hits we get for this episode.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I mean,
Um,
it'll probably be. All right, we'll see.
we're gonna get the most of any episode. You'll see. Let's do. You want to see that movie, that Will Smith movie, Bright or Blight?
Oh,
Got
God.
like terrible reviews.
I mean, I saw it already though.
All right, fine.
It was funny. The more that
You
I think
want to
about
do
it,
a non-Netflix movie? It's
I'm
fine.
kind of glad they gave it better reviews.
If you want to do something else, it's fine. You can do a non-Netflix movie.
Let's do
Netflix,
the other guys, dude.
the other guys. All right, fine.
That movie is, oh gosh, it's near and dear to my heart. I can't wait to laugh when I watch it again.
All right. So next week, the other guys. That's our review of Rogue One. Um,
Oh yeah, so do you think that it deserves an 85%?
yeah. What do you? Yeah. No.
I
I'd
really
give
do.
it like maybe a 50.
I wanna be alive to see them just obliterate a Star Wars movie, like and just make Disney understand that like you can't play with people's emotions. You think that'll happen though? You think that'll happen anytime soon?
Eventually, it seems like it might even happen next month with this Han Solo movie. People may just be like, I'm fed up with this.
That would be that would literally be a joy to see that.
I don't
But
know. We'll see. I mean, they're overdoing it. Like every fucking year, there's another movie. It's ridiculous.
I mean, look, dude, I'm telling you, man, like, there's a way to do this correctly. I mean, obviously, but I think it would be great to have a good movie come out every year. Like, dude, look at the Marvel universe, man. They're coming out with a good movie every year. Dude, they're coming out with Marvel movies like twice a year.
Mm, they're not all that great.
But I mean, like, dude, they're not bad. Like, dude, what all
Yeah,
right, so
man,
what
they're
came out?
not. Yeah, but dude, they're not. The Star Wars movies aren't. Well, all right, fine.
All right, so what came out? Like when
Well,
Civil
no.
War
Okay,
came
look.
out,
Some of the Marvel movies are just as bad as this.
like what?
Ant-Man, Iron Man 2,
Iron Man 2 was better than
Thor: The
3.
Dark World.
Iron Man was better than 3, and yeah, Thor Dark World was horrible.
Yeah. So they're the same.
Iron Man 3 was horrible though, and I got like really good
Yeah,
reviews.
same thing. Like that. So I don't know what you're talking about. And then you got some good ones like Civil War, and then you got some good ones like Last Jedi. So it's the same.
But yo, but all right, whoa, Last Jedi. I'm gonna watch that movie soon. I'm gonna watch Last Jedi. But
Right.
dude, every Captain America movie has been good though, man. You can't hate on that.
I'm not saying they weren't. I said Civil War was good. Last Jedi was good.
But I'm saying like even the Winter Soldier was amazing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there are some duds that are just as bad as Rogue One.
But Captain America's been solid though.
Why are you so? Yes, fine. Okay. What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, I'm just saying because you make it seem
We
like there could
love
be.
Captain America. No, you were trying to make the point that you said they could do it right like Marvel, but I'm saying no, that's actually not true. Even Marvel has some duds that are just as bad as Rogue One.
And they're still making money. That's true. Dude, it's money machines, bro.
All right, let's wrap it up. So if you got, what do you guys think? Are we idiots? You hate us now because we talk shit about Rogue
And we're
One? Let
saviors now. They're probably like, oh my gosh, we
yeah,
need to
they're like,
subscribe now.
unsubscribe.
We need to subscribe to you guys because you said the truth
Uh,
and you're better than all the other podcast channels things.
yeah, or do you agree? And are you gonna not subscribe? Let us know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, or don't like. Down with dislike. That's it.
Oh,
That's what I'm
dude,
trying to like.
and real quick, man. Like, dude, do you have a PlayStation?
No, I'm PC, dude.
I know, doing so PC too. All right, yeah, no, off the air. I need to talk to you for like a minute about that. So, all right,
All right. So let me. So that's it for this week. So we'll talk to you guys next
talk to you
week.
guys on the next one. Other
Peace.
guys, we're doing the other guys. It's gonna be good.
Right. Other guys next week.
All right.
Peace.